Although children's shows might seem innocent on the surface, plenty of them have had their fair share of darkness going on behind the scenes. Sometimes that's the result of one or more of the stars partaking in controversial behavior. Other times it's simply the result of a tragic event. One such children's show with darkness in its history is Captain Kangaroo. Not only was its main star embroiled in a modest amount of controversy before his death, but another star also died a tragic death at too young of an age. Join Factsverse as we attempt to uncover the depressing final days of Debbie Weems and Bob Keeshan from Captain Kangaroo. Captain Kangaroo first aired in 1955 and stayed on the air until 1984. Over the course of its run, the show quickly became a staple of children's programming. Generations of kids were raised on the show and grew to love its titular host, Captain Kangaroo. The role was performed by a man named Bob Keeshan. Bob had a history with children's programming before being given his own show. He played the original incarnation of Clarabelle the Clown on the Howdy Doody Show. He had a notable feud with the show's main performer, Buffalo Bob Smith. This led to Bob eventually being fired, and what allowed the opportunity to create Captain Kangaroo. Bob had a few controversies on the set, but his darkest secret of the show's past had little to do with Bob himself. Instead, the true tragedy of Captain Kangaroo is centered around one of its many featured performers, a young woman named Debbie Weems. Debbie Weems was born February 1st, 1950. She was born in Houston, Texas. During her early childhood, her parents separated and both remarried. In her childhood, Debbie attended the Interlochen Arts Academy, a prestigious art school located in Michigan. While there, she performed the lead role in a number of productions, including Annie Get Your Gun and The King and I. After attending Interlochen, she attended the Boston Conservatory of Music. At that school, she once again performed lead in a few major productions, Once Upon a Mattress and Carnival. In 1970, Debbie finished her time there and moved to New York City to pursue a serious career in theater. Her first New York City job was the off-Broadway production of Godspell. This opportunity blossomed into Debbie becoming a regular stock player in productions at the Lakewood Musical Playhouse. The theater was located in Barnesville, Pennsylvania. Through the early 70s, Debbie performed in a number of productions there. She performed side roles in another production of Once Upon a Mattress, as well as Brigadoon, The Most Happy Fella, and On a Clear Day You Can See Forever. Eventually, she was given the lead role in the play Mame, after its original lead dropped out. Although Debbie only had one day to prepare for the role, she made it her own. Around this time, she also began appearing in a number of TV commercials. Soon she was given her breakout role as a featured performer on Captain Kangaroo. Debbie Weems was brought on to Captain Kangaroo in 1973. At this point, the show had been on TV for nearly 2 decades, so it had a huge potential audience Debbie could tap into. She became a huge hit with the kids and was given her own tie-in album in 1976. It was called Debbie Weems Sings Songs from Captain Kangaroo. It was released by Wonderland Records and marked a high point in her career. Later that year, Debbie was featured in a TV Guide article detailing her rise to fame. Soon enough, she was one of the most popular performers on the show. But this fame didn't last long. Success on Captain Kangaroo was a double-edged sword for her. Although her role on the show had granted her an incredibly wide audience, it had also limited her ability to get other jobs in more mature productions. Everywhere she went, she felt as if she was being typecast based on the innocent persona she showcased on Captain Kangaroo. She was only able to get one other role during her tenure on the show, and that was a small role in the 1977 film Between the Lines. During this period, Debbie began developing some serious issues, including depression and anorexia. In early 1978, less than 5 years into her tenure on Captain Kangaroo, Debbie was admitted into a treatment facility in Connecticut. On February 22nd, an attendant from the facility accompanied Debbie to her Manhattan apartment to retrieve some personal things. But something went wrong. The story goes that once at the apartment, Debbie jumped out of the 16th story window of the building. She was killed by the impact, and the death was officially ruled a suicide. At the time of her death, she was only 27. Although Debbie passed away in February, she had filmed enough Captain Kangaroo footage that episodes featuring her continued airing into the summer of 1978. Little did the kids at home know that the life of one of their favorite performers had ended so tragically by her own hand. Her story is an emblematic one of a broader strand of darkness flowing underneath the world of children's TV. Children's television performers are rarely ever as happy or innocent as they appear. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. And stay tuned for a lot more about Captain Kangaroo. Bob Keeshan was 76 years old when he died in 2004. Though there had been some mild controversies in his past, he was still a beloved icon at the time of his death, and remains so to many. He had suffered from heart problems since the 80s, and it was believed these were the cause of his death. Over the course of his career, Bob had performed as Captain Kangaroo over 9,000 times. Bob was born Robert Keeshan on June 27, 1927. He was born in Lynbrook on Long Island, New York. Although his parents weren't part of the entertainment industry, young Bob became interested in radio programming while attending school. In 1943, his mother died of a heart attack. This episode caused the young man a great deal of stress, but he persevered through his education. In 1944, he received a position as a page at NBC Studios in Rockefeller Center. He continued his high school career in the daytime while working at the studio at night. At NBC, Bob managed the audiences of many popular radio shows. After graduating, he enlisted in the Marines. However, he didn't see any combat. He was in the Marines for a year before returning to New York and his job at NBC. Bob was promoted to a receptionist on the 4th floor with a desk right next to the office of one Buffalo Bob Smith. Although Buffalo Bob Smith wasn't a star yet, the two Bobs became friends. A few years later, Buffalo Bob Smith was given the Howdy Doody Show, and he hired Bob Keeshan to play the character of Clarabelle the Clown. Although the two started out as friends, their relationship eventually turned sour. Bob Smith derided Bob Keeshan in front of the rest of the cast and crew, and eventually fired him. However, Bob Keeshan's experience as a children's performer led to NBC giving him his own show. This is how Captain Kangaroo was born, and it proved to be a huge success for the network. Although Bob Keeshan was never directly tied to any of the darkness surrounding Captain Kangaroo, time has shown he wasn't completely innocent. It's been revealed Bob used to pull his penis out on set to shock one of his co-stars, Hugh Branham. Hugh Branham played the character of Mr. Green Jeans. Despite how it may sound, especially in today's climate, it seems as if Bob and Hugh were both in on the joke. Apparently, Hugh turned the tables on Bob one day during a recording by pulling his own penis out and peeing on Bob's leg. Now it's time to hear from you. Comment down below to share your favorite dark story from children's television, or if you were a fan of Captain Kangaroo growing up that was shocked to learn about the tragic demise of Debbie Weems. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.